In the intersection of wearable technology, health and fashion, today we go beyond with Billa Bhandari, co-founder and CEO of VitalProbe. He's got 30+ years of experience in building businesses around banking, managed services, cybersecurity, healthcare and higher education. He's got a strong recognition in the international biometrics and cybersecurity communities, and served on the Electronic Crime Taskforce Committee in the USA. In the education sector, Billa led the process of building the College of Fashion and Design in Dubai and also founded the Geneva School of Public Policy, and has consulted with several prominent fashion institutes such as ESMOD Dubai, the International Fashion Academy in Paris, the Amsterdam Fashion Academy, etc. Currently, he is working within the wearable technology sector, developing a product that is being evaluated by NASA for its next space mission. Let's go beyond with Billa Bhandari.
Go beyond your horizons.
Billa, thank you so much for connecting today to the spacecraft.
My pleasure.
Great to hear you. All right, so I'm very excited because we're going to speak about the topic of wearables, wearable technology, combining technology with things that we wear. As an intro, before we go beyond and we go deep, as an intro for the audience, can you tell us for you, what does it mean, wearable technology, and why is it important? Why is it going to be very important in the future and the present?
Sure. So first of all, the wearable technology, whether it's a form of fabric or watch, whatever form comes in, it's important to understand the differentiation. Then look, if I'm going to wear something on my body that is going to look too big, or something that's going to make people wonder, why is he wearing that? Is something wrong with him? Then people will not wear it, especially if they have to pay for it. So wearable technology, we normally describe it something that we are comfortable, showing it as maybe as a necessary or maybe as a lifestyle. So there are two different kind of markets. When you say lifestyle, Apple Watch fits into lifestyle. People talk about wearing Apple Watch. They talk about, I have the latest Apple Watch, just like people like to show off their new iPhone, right? However, then there are wearable devices that go into healthcare sector, medical sector, where they can make an important discovery about life and death of an individual, that the person is about to have a cardiac arrest, need immediate attention, right? But when people want to wear that, they want to make sure it's part of something they're comfortable. Maybe the dress, maybe the watch, maybe something else, maybe a fashion accessory. Then there will be no barrier to entry and adoption, because if the device is too big, let's say if I was putting an iPhone here just to monitor my health, I won't do it, right?
That won't do it.
Right? And then 10,000 people will be looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? Right?
Exactly.
But on the other hand, if I was to put this little device on my chest, but it's sitting under my shirt, nobody will even know about it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's what we mean. The wearable devices have to have the form factor that you are comfortable with. I mean, there have been a lot of products out in the market. You will see that they have a big patch on the pocket, right?
Yeah.
$500 only to broadcast something wrong with you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this is very interesting. So you're telling us is, you combine technology for either lifestyle or for a specific need, like monitoring your health. But the difference is that is something that is designed and manufactured to be integrated in a way that feels comfortable and that feels natural. It's not, as you see, it's like attached like a big block or something. It's something that is Exactly, this is fascinating. So Billa is working on a very, very fascinating product called, his company is VitalProbe, and you are building exactly one of these things that you are telling us. So can you give us a little summary of what is VitalProbe? What is it doing?
Okay, so VitalProbe is basically a company who's working on the next generation medical slash well-being products. So
Okay.
our first product is geared towards monitoring just the basic things. So if let's say that you have a high temperature, you will get an alert or your doctor will get an alert. But on the other hand, you fall, you slip, the first responder gets an alert to say, hey, the person has fallen, they need some help, right? Today, the lifestyle is changing people, even a country like India, where parents used to live with their children and the
Yeah.
children used to feed their parents. That no longer is the case. Now, elderly parents are living alone. When something happens with them, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Now, there are lots of solutions out in the market, but they all require an action from an individual. So let's say you're wearing a locket or you were carrying a phone, you press the help button and the first responder comes to you. But problem is 99% of the time when you're in a panic mode, the phone is locked, you open it up, what do? Try to open it, you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
By the time
It has to be more automated, yeah, somehow.
that's right. Exactly. So our device requires absolutely no interaction from the individual. It was sent
No
that
interaction.
on its own. But you, when at the time of the enrollment, decide who gets what. Your doctor, the first responder. So all of that stuff on the back end has to be integrated, but that's integrated by your choice because not every first responder is in every location, right?
Yeah.
So once an individual says, I want this hospital, I want this doctor, I want this first responder to be integrated, and I want my children or I want my parents to get the first alert should something happen to me. And then then it's automatic.
Very
But,
interesting.
but
So
on the other
basically, the person sets up those details of who should be alerted,
that's
and
right.
then the rest is automatic. You are wearing this device, and if it detects that you need help, it automatically is going to connect to give alert, to give the alarm to whoever you've said that should be alerted.
That's correct.
Very nice. I mean,
Now,
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so I have a question connected to that and to what you said before. Your device is fascinating because it's very little. And I think a lot of people will wonder about how little do you think that these devices are going to be able to be in the near future and medium-term future and longer future? Are we going to eventually be able to have these devices within our bodies, within our organisms, even within our blood vessels? What is the limit here? Or what is
okay. We've learned one thing in life that we can do what we imagine, right? The potential is tremendous. So maybe we are not there yet where it's going to be in blood vessels, but I can tell you it will be in very near future subdermal.
Yeah.
That means this kind of chip will become smaller and smaller and could be inserted in your body. So nobody will even know that you're carrying one.
Okay, so you say that in the near future, maybe not in the blood vessels, but just to be integrated in the body in a way that nobody notices.
That's right.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Because we've already seen for the last, I would say, 2 decades, that there have been subdermal biometric chips, which are inserted in the body for
Subdermal.
armed forces especially, and the lifestyle to track them.
To track the lifestyle, they've already done
livestock. So let's say a cow or a horse, right?
Okay. With an animal. Okay. Livestock.
Right?
Yeah. With livestock, they've already put it under the skin.
That's right. And even in armed forces, so what happens when they go to war, there's a subdermal chip that identifies whose body is that should they die, right?
So they are already using it with the armed forces?
Okay.
So
Yes.
they have it under the skin so they can be identified?
Yes.
That's fascinating. I love it. And another interesting thing I read in the information about your fascinating product that you are tracking things like the temperature, the movement, the posture. What about, are you also considering, or are you already working with the emotional factor, like stress, like the detection, with all these parameters that you are monitoring? Can you also get conclusions about the emotional state of a person in terms of stress and things like that?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Because you know what? See, since we're able to capture various elements, HRV, for example, heart rate variability,
Okay,
we can
heart rate variability. Okay.
and respiration. So what happens is these things fluctuate based upon stress on the brain.
Yeah.
When, for example, if you are in pain, all of these parameters will jump very quickly, right? If your body temperature, if you are very cold or if you're very warm, your emotional state will change,
Yes. Yes.
right? So now, can I say that I can analyze the emotional behavior like a therapist? Answer is no. But I can tell you the emotional state has changed of the individual.
Okay. I mean, and do you think this is interesting? I mean, you can see the changes. Of course, you cannot give a official diagnosis, but
Right.
but are you planning in the future to maybe combine efforts with people that can diagnose?
Absolutely. So we live in a connected world. Today, the world has become IoT world, right?
Yes.
I don't have to pack everything on my small device,
Exactly.
but I know how to connect with another device. So I will partner with players who are building those devices. And today, you know what has happened? The reason we call these devices smartphone, because they can do a lot,
Yes.
right? So I can take the data from multiple devices, multiple IoT devices, put in the smartphone, push it to the cloud, and let the AI engine, machine learning, do its work. I
Yes.
don't need an expert at that point, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was wondering about that. If you were using or going to use machine learning and
Absolutely. You
yes.
see, problem is an expert today can only analyze or diagnose one individual.
Yeah.
So when you pick that expert and give them the tool like AI and machine learning, they can analyze thousands of patients at the same time.
Yes. So are you already doing this?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Wow.
Yes.
That's because that's one of the main most exciting uses of deep learning and machine learning today. I mean, when it's advancing so fast, right, in the radiology departments to be able to complement the radiologists in the diagnosis of the tumors and stuff. But it would be able to do diagnosis from all the data you're gathering. That's fascinating. I love it. And one question that really interests me. I read that your device, VitalProbe, has a 48-hour continuous operation. There are a lot of people dealing with this very challenging issue of how to make a device that is comfortable, that lasts the battery for a long time. What are the biggest challenges your team had to deal with in order to make a device like your device that is comfortable, easy to use, that improves the user experience? What are the most difficult obstacles today and challenges when you are creating this type of device?
The bigger challenge is really the battery life, to be honest with you. See,
so it's the battery life. Can you show us the device again? Do you have it there? Let me see.
Absolutely. So that's the device.
Yeah, so we can see that is like, we can see the nail of Billa, right? So the size is so small, it's like maybe 3 of your nails. Something like
It's 45 millimeters by 15 millimeters.
I mean, it's really, really tiny. So where is the battery coming from there?
So you see this yellow part?
Yes.
That's the battery.
Oh, the yellow part is the battery. So what
The
type of
battery is a lithium-ion battery, and it's the biggest. Yeah, so it's the biggest part on the device. If we did not have that battery, it would be half the price.
It's the biggest part of the device. That's super interesting. That is the biggest part.
Yes.
So it's the biggest part and it's the biggest challenge, therefore.
Yes, correct. So we are working on the next generation. So I will also show you.
Yeah, please.
This is the charger, for example, right? The device sits on this. It's a USB
so this is the
charger.
charger for the device, okay?
Yes. But we are building a next generation charger where this device will be stored in this charger. While stored, it will be charging too, like the parts.
Oh, so in the same place where you store it,
Yes.
it will be already charging it, returning. Very good. Very good.
So I mean, we have lots of things on the pipeline, but what we wanted to do was, you see, there are lots of devices out in the market.
Yes.
But most of these devices are one-time use. You use it like Apple Watch. You know, I had an Apple Watch, believe it or not, but it was third generation, and I just learned that it won't pair with my watch because it's too old.
Oh, so that this happens.
So I paid like $400 for that. So in 3 years,
oh my God,
you know, it's a waste.
You cannot return it.
No. I mean, what can I do? Apple won't. Why would Apple take it back?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right? So what happens is most of these devices become one-time use. Whether you
one-time use,
3 years, or some devices last only 5 days, right?
Yeah.
Lots of challenges in terms of the supply chain, logistics. We wanted to build a device that you buy it once and it's with you for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
Right.
So what happens?
Yeah, go ahead.
What happens if it is for the rest of your life? What about the battery? Is the battery? But you will have to charge.
You charge. You know, it will warn you that hey, your battery life is 10% left. You need to charge it.
Okay,
now,
so that one battery that you get is gonna last you
forever. Is you just as long as you keep charging it. Yes.
Okay. Very good.
I have to show you something here.
Yeah.
When you have the app running, it will look like this.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Okay.
All of these basically indicate all the different parameters. Now, somebody says, look, I want to look at what's happening with my heart. So you could actually, if the device was connected, it will, instead of showing the heart, it will show you the charts, the graph.
Yeah. Okay.
Real time.
Right? Very nice, in real time. And one question, how do you make sure that we can see the device? How do you make sure that it stays in good contact with the body without being uncomfortable? How does it?
So I need to show you something. Just 1 second.
Yeah, go for it. Show me.
You see, this is the tape with the 2 electrodes.
Ah, that's a tape.
Now, when I peel on the back, this has EK gel tape.
Okay.
I stick to my chest.
You can stick it to the chest, and on the other side is the device.
And then, so think of this way. Assume this is sitting on my chest, right?
Yeah.
And bingo.
Yeah. So it's just like an adhesive. It's an adhesive that you...
That's right, exactly.
Oh, that's very nice. And you have to put it on the middle of the chest?
Yes, to get the best reading of the heart.
Yes. Get the best reading of the heart and
posture. Heart and posture.
Heart and posture.
Yeah, because if I put this on my wrist, I will never get posture.
Yeah, exactly. So it is heart, posture, what else? Temperature,
HRV, right? And the activities. So we can do
like movement, yeah?
You see, today what happens is a lot of people say, oh, there are lots of apps, or even on Apple, on iPhone, that say, do your sleep analysis.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens is when you go to sleep, you turn on the app, what it does is it puts your phone in a non-disturb zone, right? Non-disturb mode.
Correct.
Not disturb mode, right?
Yeah.
But now if I'm smart, I don't touch my phone all night. I get up 10 times to have my drink or go to the bathroom, whatever I want to do, right?
Because
So
you are still...
I'm not touching the phone.
Yeah.
Because they are relying on your social behavior.
Yeah.
Right? They are saying, oh, the person is so tuned to using the phone, they're going to pick up 10 times phone, right?
Yeah.
If you don't, because normally the minute you get up, first thing you do is you grab your phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they rely on that. But if I'm smart, I say, the hell with the phone. I'm going to get up. I'm going to have a glass of water or whatever, juice, whatever. I go back to lay down. I can't sleep. So I say, okay, let me go take a quick walk. I take my walk. I leave the phone home. This bugger is going to say, I slept very sound.
Yeah.
But when
So
this...
it's not very trustworthy.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But when I put the device on my chest, unless until I take the device on my chest, every time I wake up, even when my eyes are half closed, this guy's going to know I woke up.
Yeah.
Right? That's the difference.
Yeah, totally. It's really integrated, and because it's more integrated with you, it's really much more trustworthy. This is fascinating. So, if we go beyond, if you keep on improving your device, if we were able to constantly monitor all our well-being parameters, could we potentially catch in advance and prevent most of the diseases? You think?
Absolutely.
How far do you think that is? How far?
I can tell you in the very near future, there will be sensors that will be able to do your sweat analysis to look at your blood sugar. Which is, and if you are watching your blood sugar, you know whether you are going to be a potential victim of diabetes in a very near future, which is a huge problem, right? Based upon that, you can now basically alter the diet. You say, your blood sugar has gone up by this, alter the diet. And because there is AI and machine learning behind the scene, it's constantly saying, looking at the data and say, no, listen, you need to change your diet to this. Right?
Exactly. So it would be not only recognizing and analyzing some of these parameters, but recommending you in advance ways to change your lifestyle to prevent diseases. That's fantastic. And so in the market of wearables, healthcare is estimated to have the largest share in the market in the present and coming future. But what do you think for you? What is your dream? What is your next step? What other areas within healthcare, in your opinion, could benefit of technological improvements that are coming in the next few years? What is your vision, long-term vision?
Yeah. So I see there are two type of, I would say, two segments. One is the elderly people.
Okay.
Which need constant help. Second is post-ICU discharge.
Mm-hmm.
So when a person is released from ICU, they need their health to be monitored. Which means you need to send somebody to their house. Okay? And there's a huge cost to that.
That's a huge cost to that, exactly.
Not only that huge cost, but also there's a huge liability issue. Because let's say you're sending somebody to somebody's house, they go to their house and they fall, something happened to them, you have the liability. Right?
Yeah.
This device, you say, mister, you're being released. You're going to carry this device for 1 month. Nobody's going to come to your house. We're going to just every day, twice, we're going to take your vitals. Now you're giving them the patient peace of mind. But nobody's going to come and disturb me. Right? And I'm being watched. So there's a huge deal of comfort available to them. That's, we believe, is the biggest market. Because as elderly people are becoming, older and older, they need more and more support. And what happens is they also become, in their mind, they develop fears. What happens if I fall? Nobody's going to come and look at me. But with this, their confidence grows.
Yeah, I understand. So it's a peace of mind, what you see. So the future is to give more peace of mind to the elderly and to people in general, to all parts of this equation.
That's right. The other big market that we see for ourselves is the corporate well-being.
Uh-huh.
People like us who are working in very stressful environments, right? And sitting on a desk all day long. I'm talking about white-collar jobs, right?
Yeah,
C-level executives. Now, this device will tell me every hour, hey, you're sitting in the wrong position. Hey, you're sitting in the wrong position.
I like that.
Right?
I like it.
And till I position myself in the way I need to be sitting, it'll keep reminding me. Just like seatbelt.
I like it, yeah.
You don't wear the seatbelt, it's going to keep beeping.
I'm very curious. How is it, I mean, just like at a high level, how is it detecting your posture? Is it what type of sensor? Is this like with an accelerometer or?
That's right, accelerometer, yes.
Okay, with accelerometer, yeah. Okay, it's interesting.
So it tells you whether you fell on your face, because this is what I say. If you put it on your say wristwatch or wrist, it will not be able to monitor because I'm resting my wrist. So what does it mean? That I'm laying down? No?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking now that, of course, if you have it on the chest, it can probably tell you if you are slumping, if you are like, right?
Exactly.
If you are like, I mean, it can really detect if you have like the proper like posture, right? That they always recommend.
Yeah. You know, when you watch people walking, right? A lot of time you see people are watching they're walking at an angle. They're leaning forward.
Exactly.
Right? This will say, walk straight.
I like it. I want one already. Because you're right. For people like us that are working a lot with computers and stuff, we tend to.
That's right. Exactly.
That's absolutely.
Obviously, if you look at kind of indicator we can give. Oh, you have been sitting in this position for more than an hour. Get up, take a walk for 5 minutes. Right? It can accumulate all of the data, and then every week or every 2 weeks, machine will analyze, or it can analyze real time and say, look, this person has been really defocused from their well-being. They've been too bogged down with their work, which means you're also able to look at their emotional health.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
because the emotional health has a big impact on the posture.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. I mean, wow. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. So one question now about your Vital SOS product that alerts the first responders so that help can be provided as soon as possible. This is, as you said, this is what can be done today. Now, going beyond, and you already talked about this, how far are we from being able to provide solutions, so kind of treatment already, by the device itself, meaning that the device would be able to provide, for example, chemicals or drugs or other interventions to assist immediately after detecting some issue, to act as soon as possible without having to wait for the humans to assist. How far is that?
Not too far. Really not too far.
Not too far?
Not too far. Probably in the next century, this will come. Because I'll tell you, there's a French company that has automated a pharmacy. That means anything you need in the pharmacy, the robot will bring it to you.
What is this? What is this?
It's a company that have automated the delivery from the shelf.
Okay, so it's like a robot. It's a robot that anything you need.
It's a pharmacy in the form of a robot.
It brings to you. Okay.
That's right. Now think of there's another robot, which is a doctor, who knows what to treat for.
Yeah.
Right? It requires the other robot, give me this medicine, right?
Yeah.
That robot gets a message from this device, hey, listen, this guy is having a cardiac arrest or this guy has a high fever.
Yeah.
You see? It's not too far.
It could be like the Amazon drone delivery, right?
Yes.
Yeah, your device calls for the medicine comes in a drone or whatever, and
correct.
Okay, so that could be an intermediate step, and then the final step that is obviously farther away. It would be if the device itself had. This is very difficult. If the device itself had,
I mean, today, you know what? You are able to send a camera in your body through the blood vessels to see what's going on, right?
Yes.
Now, those cameras can be made very, very smart.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that's like part. Yeah, that's the beginning for the diagnosis. Oh, this is fascinating. Now, your Vital Sniff product allows the doctors and the hospitals to remotely check the vitals of the patient and address the situation as soon as possible. This is wonderful. Now, going beyond, how far is a society, a world, in which this wonderful service that you are working on, this kind of remote service, becomes the standard that is everywhere? Because, a type of service in which the doctors and the hospitals are remotely checking our vital signs. When is this going to be everywhere?
So there are two things. Number one, the availability of the networks, right?
Networks.
Let's take, for example, India. It has a huge population in villages where there are no doctors, there are no pharmacies, right? How do you monitor who needs what help? So let's say under some social program, let's say perhaps Gates Foundation says, we're going to distribute a device like this, okay, which will collect the data and put it in the repository of the village. Now, based upon analyzing the data, then you know that village needs so much of these medicine.
In the repository of the village.
That's right. So you can have each village be part of a bigger system where each village then gets its own robotic doctor and an expert. We're not saying that everything will be robotic. You still need a human.
Yeah.
But now you don't have to build an elaborative human-based system, because when you start building human-based system, that's where the problems start.
Yeah.
Because somebody sees, this is a very expensive medicine. I can take it out, sell it online, right? And I can make an extra buck.
Exactly.
It happens, right?
Yeah.
So here the idea is to eliminate all of those problems and dispense what is needed. And human makes mistake. A doctor makes mistake.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen too many cases where doctor goes to operating theater and amputates the leg of the wrong person.
Yeah. It's happening in my country as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens everywhere, right?
That's crazy.
But you can prevent all of that stuff happening, right? Because
so really your focus is on automation and on, just like with the self-driving cars, passing the responsibility to the machine.
Yes. What we are really trying to do is we are saying, look, hospitals have failed to take care of us. From COVID-19, it has become very obvious to us that hospitals are not geared to protect us in a situation like this.
Interesting. Yeah.
But under COVID-19, what is it looking for? Your heart, your respiration, and skin temperature. I can do all of.
Yeah, you could do it all with that device. Yeah.
So then I see that, I go take myself and drive to a test center. I get myself tested. Right?
Yeah.
Rather than at the very last minute when there's no treatment and there's no ventilators available.
Yeah. No, it would be wonderful to in advance remotely check the vitals of everybody and already get like big data statistics and say, okay, there is this percentage of population. That wonderful.
Yes.
Well, I mean, this is absolutely wonderful. Let me switch, because you told me that you also have very exciting ideas connecting wearables with fashion and clothing. That is something that everybody uses, For example, I created myself a project doing augmented reality t-shirts, so I'm very interested in this field. So what possibilities, what ideas, what exciting stuff can you tell us about combining fashion and clothing with wearables?
So I can give you one very quick example is, this device, I put it on my chest and I put on a t-shirt, nobody even knows about it, right?
Okay.
Now I build a case, perhaps that has a diamond on it, right? If I build a casing, I put the device inside a box.
Yes.
But the box is not a regular box, it's more like a fashion accessory that I can put in my thing.
Okay, it's like a fashion accessory, nicely designed and stuff. Yeah,
that's right. So then people will like to show it off. Right?
Okay.
So you make it, if it's a fashion accessory, people will like to show it off.
I understand. Right? You want to also transform it in a fashion accessory that looks good. People want to show it. People want to wear it. Right. But at the very same time, you are monitoring your vital.
Right. Exactly.
Now, if you use it as a fashion accessory, then it's not going to be attached to the chest anymore, right?
Yeah, it will still be attached, but it'll be attached to a piece of. So, for example, a dress could have a piece of fabric inside that would send me the same data that this tape does.
Oh, so instead of being the tape, it could be a piece of fabric.
It's part of the dress.
Part of the dress. I guess it will have to be a special type of fabric to conduct.
Of course. So,
but example, I know these things exist. There is right now, there is conductive fabric.
That's right. See, today there are lots of companies that are making these kind, like what we call sports t-shirts, sports bra, right? They do it already.
Ah, yeah, so that's nice.
Leverage that fabric. You can go work with them and say, listen, replace the bulky device, use my device.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, because as you say, if the part where it attaches is conductive fabric and the rest you do it really nice and stylish, then you could put it on a swimwear and right?
Yeah. See, look, uses are infinite. And you can, depends on a designer how they see building an accessory, wearable accessory for it. Because you see today, that the casing is plastic, is just something we did it to protect the device from environment variables. But eventually, this is going to come like Apple phone. You want today gold cover, you change it. You want white cover, change it. You want black cover, you change it, right? So this could match with your outfit.
Yeah, it could be like a designers as well. Like you could customize it as you want.
That's right.
This is super exciting. So now, if we continue with clothing, if we see clothing as our second skin, how do you think we could transform clothing even more with technology in order to express who we are in more original and powerful ways? What can technology do to transform our clothing, now beyond your product, in general, to make our clothing express in more original ways who we are,
Absolutely. So today, there's a lot of nanotechnology available where people have started building fabrics that will change the color based upon your mood.
Oh, to change the color of the clothing upon the mood. Is this already happening?
Absolutely. It's not commercially available, but it's out there.
But it's being researched, basically.
Absolutely. There is clothing that's available that's harnessing kinetic energy from the body. So, for example, University of North Carolina is doing a project where they're able to harness kinetic energy from the body. Now, of course, we need bigger battery. Otherwise, I could stick without the battery. I could make it much smaller, harness the kinetic energy, and I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. If you needed if you need less power, it could be enough with the kinetic energy of the body.
That's right. So there are lots of development happening in the field, both from diagnostic perspective and at the same time, what could be the potential? Because once you have the data, you know what's causing the problem. It's easier to develop a drug for it, right?
It's easier to develop what?
Drug. Let's say people who have Parkinson, right?
Yeah.
So Parkinson is basically you shake vigorously, right?
Yeah, because of one of the neurotransmitters, yeah?
That's right. But now if there was a sensor that could actually monitor how many shakes you did in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Right? And you get multiple patients giving you the data constantly.
Yeah.
You will see that where is the problem. Because today, human eye can say this person shook vigorously for 30 seconds or 15 seconds, but they don't know how many times they shook, right?
Yeah. So it's about having more precise data, and with more precise data, you can maybe diagnose earlier and treat earlier, right?
That's right. So which will empower the pharmaceutical companies to come up with new drugs for the treatment.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very, very super exciting. Okay, another question. Your VitalProbe company has operations in Japan, India, and Dubai. It's very interesting. How do you see the present and future of distributed and remote work in the current and upcoming context? Do you think that this type of operation, remote, distributed, is just going to increase more and more?
Perfect. Quite honestly, this is the way we're going to operate now. There was a time before COVID-19, I was in the flight every week. Every week I was, right, just to have meetings.
You were traveling all the time, yeah?
All the time I was traveling. But now what I've realized, I didn't have to travel.
So all of that traveling, did you like it or was it tiring for you?
I love to travel, there's no doubt about it. But what I realized was there were two things that were happening. Hotels and airlines were brainwashing me all the time. Hey, listen, you are platinum status, but you need to keep it next year. You need to take 2 more flights. So you get on the flight, right?
Yeah.
The hotel will say, hey, listen, to maintain your elite status, you need 10 more nights. You say, okay, I'm traveling anyway. I'll spend 2 more nights, right?
Yeah.
But the work was done 1 meeting, 2 meeting. Now when you're sitting in one place, you're doing the work and you can have 5 meetings.
Yeah, it's much more productive, right? Yeah.
Hey, look, I can tell you, hey, go download this app from Apple Store, okay? And I can show you wearing this device with my chest exactly what is happening with my vitals.
Yeah.
You got the demo, right? You're looking at, I'm wearing it, and you're getting the real data, right? And I can send this device to you at a much lower cost than my travel.
Yeah, exactly. So you are saving money by not traveling so much that you can then bring the cost and the prices down.
Absolutely.
Okay, that is a great point.
Companies will now, I'll tell you, the operations will be much leaner, efficient, and the throughput will be much. See, why did Google and Microsoft of the world came up with that? Hey, work from home. 2 reasons. When somebody I'm not saying it works for everyone, but who are self-driven, they will take that opportunity to produce 10 times more than they would have produced because they don't have to sit 4 hours in the traffic.
Definitely, yeah.
They don't have to spend 2 hours in recovering from that traffic.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Because all of a sudden you've taken the stress out of their day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Throughput becomes 10 times. And we are seeing it now by just operating virtually. We are able to save and conserve that energy. So instead of working in a week, 2 days, I can work 7 days a week and 20 hours a day because I don't need that 8 hours sleep because I'm too tired. I can live with 4 hours sleep.
Absolutely, I agree completely. I think a lot of things wasted time is going to be put to better use because of this from now on.
Correct.
Excellent. So already moving towards the end of the conversation, it's going so fast because so many exciting and fascinating things. I want to move now on to more fascinating topics because I want to know your opinion about some deep beyond topics. In this case, the human conscious mind, consciousness. There are 2 fields in here. There is a field that says that consciousness is part of the fabric of the brain, of the neurons in the brain. The others talk about what they call panpsychism, consciousness being like a kind of a general property of the universe, like a feature or a layer of the universe to which we connect to. In your opinion, is consciousness a wearable in our minds? Or is it part of the fabric of the brain? Or is it a wearable that is everywhere and that we connect to? What kind of wearable is it?
Okay, so it's certainly not everywhere because consciousness is very subjective.
Yes.
We choose to ignore at times, even though when it's around us. Right? And it's also a big part of the culture.
Yes.
And a big part of the environment.
Yes.
In capitalism, when you talk about consciousness, it works very differently.
Yeah.
In communism, it works very differently.
So you are saying that the context influences a lot what consciousness is, in a way.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, you know something is wrong, but you still do it. So your conscience says it's wrong, but you do it because an economic situation warrants you to do it.
The subconscious.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right? So, for example, you know, if you are asked by your manager that you need to do this thing, and you know it's wrong to do it.
Yes.
But now you realize if you don't do it, your manager fires you, and you know your visa status expires, and you have to leave the country. Then what do? You would you say, "Let me leave the country. I've got my kids in school that they only have term 2. What do? I uproot everyone and I leave, or I just compromise." So you see how the conscious, even when you're aware of that it is wrong, you compromise.
So do you mean that we are not totally in control of our decisions?
You are never in control. No. Let me put it. You are in control, but the environment forces you to compromise. You can always say, "The hell with it." You know, like if you don't have any baggage, if you don't have any responsibilities, you say, "Hell with it. I'm getting up and moving on." Absolutely, you are in control. But sometimes the limitation that you have that prevent you from being conscious.
Very interesting. Yeah, so I find very interesting. So your perspective is that consciousness is very much influenced by the environment, by all the forces, pressures that we have around, and
external environment that you have no control over.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I like it. Okay, and continuing with that, what is, from your point of view, let's talk about the concept of wearable personalities. And the question is, how could wearable technology influence our experience of who we are and how others see us? Do you think that in the future, how other people see us and how we feel about ourselves is going to be modified by this wearable revolution?
Absolutely. Think of this way. If I'm wearing a device that is constantly analyzing my state of mind, and the minute I become nervous, it's boosting me by sending me an audible signal in my, right?
For example,
it tells me, listen, there is nothing to worry about it. I've scanned the entire room. There's nobody as smart as you. All of a sudden, you get the boost, you get the confidence.
So maybe you feel scared about something and it reassures you. And
yes,
that's interesting.
You see what happens when you go public speaking, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people cannot speak. They're very good speakers. But the minute they get on the stage, they get nervous.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be nervous about, right?
Yeah.
None of the people in the audience are going to shoot them, right? And a lot of people, you'll notice when they get on the podium, they are not looking at the audience. They are looking at the microphone.
Yeah.
They don't engage the audience, right?
They're shy, yeah.
But these devices will help them. Hey, look, engage the audience. They'll send the subtle messages to them. Only they can hear it.
That's very interesting, yeah. Yeah.
So, for example, the device could send. If you're wearing a watch, the device could. You don't need anything. It could send on the watch a display saying, "Hey, listen, why don't you engage the audience? Are you afraid? Are you shy?"
I mean, almost like your psychologist, almost like your therapist, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Very interesting. And maybe, what do you think about this? Eventually, in a further future, if it could modify the neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin in your brain, because I think when you get like scared maybe or depressed, these right neurotransmitters change, if it could modify your brain chemistry, I mean, that's very far away, obviously, but
it's possible.
But it's possible, right?
I can see, nanotechnology evolving into nanorobots.
Yeah.
Today,
it could give order to a nanorobot, and then the nanorobot would modify something in the chemistry of the brain. Maybe.
That's right. There are lots of things out there. You start manipulating that, and you start putting them together, and you can actually see how this all comes together. Look, today there is a nano communication chip. Okay.
Yeah.
That does not require any GSM. It sends a signal to the nanosatellite. Nanosatellite is a box sitting in a satellite, and it is triangulating between the satellites, and it carries a very small payload. Okay? So it doesn't require much bandwidth.
Very little, yeah.
Very little. So now with that, if you need, for example, let's say you are in the Amazon where there's no Wi-Fi, there's no network, right?
Yeah.
With this device, you could take that little piece of data that you need, right? And shoot it up and it will be distributed, right? Just the same way, if we are moving that far, that fast in communication, other things are coming. Because what the biggest problem is communication.
Is the communication.
Right. We call this device a smart device because it's a connected device.
Yeah.
The minute I take connection away from it, it's done. Then it's just play.
Yeah, the minute we kill the electricity or the connectivity is gone.
That's right.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting topic. Is there any way we can escape this? What about what they call edge computing, right? Edge computing for artificial intelligence. Like devices that can work without connection to the cloud. What about with your VitalProbe? Does it have a way, if there is no connection, to store the information and send later?
Absolutely. We have enough storage in the device. So if there's no connection, the minute it's established the connection again. So for example, you're wearing this, you're in a flight, and not all flights have Wi-Fi.
Exactly. So it stores it, and then it's unbelievable. With that little size, it's unbelievable that you have the storage, you have the battery and the sensors. It's impressive. It's very impressive, Billa.
Believe it or not, we plan to make it even smaller.
Really? What is the final objective? How small? Because already very small.
Final objective is that you will want to wear it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. And you never have to take it off.
Right now it's like this, more or less.
Right, because see, the weight is only 4 grams, right?
Wow, only 4 grams, nothing.
Yes. But if I reduce this and make it weight like 2 grams, a little bit smaller, guess what? I will not even know that I'm wearing it.
Exactly. Right? Is it, by the way, is it using to communicate with a smartphone? Is it using like this Bluetooth low power?
Yeah. Bluetooth.
BLE?
Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing technology also.
That's right.
So the emitter of this is very little, right? What you need to.
That's right.
What you need to send the signals with this BLE is really, really small as well.
Yeah. No. I mean, we can send any amount of data through BLE. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
We're doing a large amount of data too.
That's impressive. That's very impressive. Wow, super exciting. So, Billa, now the easiest question of all. What is for you the meaning of life? What is for you, what gives purpose to life for you? Because, you are like a fantastic, businessman, entrepreneur and everything. You work very hard and you take risks, with great experiences, great background, great career. What is, after all of these things, what is for you the essence of life,
Yeah. So you see, the easiest question is probably the most difficult question to answer.
The most difficult, for sure.
Right? Because
it's impossible to answer. In a way, it's impossible, but that's why we play with it.
But I'll try to answer as best as I can.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you don't even begin to learn the meaning of life till you are closer to end of life.
Yeah, that's funny paradox, isn't it? Yeah, I guess.
Because when you start reflecting back, you say, "Oh, I shouldn't have done this." I
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that, right?
Yes.
It's an iterative learning process. But I feel that in basic sense of the meaning of life is be able to make a difference.
Mhm.
Even if you can make difference in the life of one person for the better, right?
Mhm.
You have served the meaning of life. Life is making a difference. We come into this world to serve a purpose. Right?
Mhm.
Now, I'm not a religious person.
Mhm.
I always, when people say, "What is your religion?" I
Mhm.
say, "I believe in all religions." Then
Mm.
they say, "Which one do you practice?" I say, "Now, this is where I get confused, so I don't practice any."
That's a good one.
So I look at it this way. What is
Mm.
religion? Religion is basically helping the mankind.
Yeah.
If I can help one person and I say, "Listen, pay it forward," that person goes and helps another person, all of a sudden the world will be a much better place to live. Right? Today, what has happened is instead of me taking the meaning of life as helping others, I am taking the life, it's my money. Who the hell are you to tell me I shouldn't go to beach because there's a corona, right? I want to
Yeah.
die, it's my life, right?
Mm.
What we fail to understand is that I am not talking about just me, I'm killing thousand other people,
Mm.
just like a drunk driver.
Mm.
Nobody cares if you die, but people care why did you kill the other person, right? So
Mhm.
if you take that, translate that into, okay, I have whatever I have, wherever I am in my life, but if I can take one person behind me and change their life, that's what life is.
That's beautiful. I think that's beautiful to be able to make a difference, to change even just the life of one person makes it all worth it. Thank you, Billa. That's very inspiring. It really touched me. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, well, what a great amount of inspiration and inspiring things you have shared with us. We are going to share in the description of this beautiful chat the links to VitalProbe and everything so that people can explore more. And I really look forward here from the spacecraft to discovering more and more about the next stages of your fascinating project and to see this product a reality all around the world and all around the planet.
I will tell you something. Before NASA takes this product to the space, we're going to
Yeah.
put it in spacecraft.
Oh, yes, please. For me, it would be very, very useful because, if anything happens to me here in my little spacecraft, I need that VitalProbe sends immediate alert to my people on Earth. This is very
Yes,
important because I have no assistance here at all.
that's right. There you go.
All right, Billa, well, I'm going to subscribe immediately. I mean,
All right.
I'm going to join and share with all my interstellar colleagues as well.
Wonderful.
Billa, what a pleasure, my friend. Thank you for connecting. And
Good to
we
see you.
will keep updated with your project. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. So
Yes.
long.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for following the Beyond podcast. If you enjoy it, subscribe on YouTube and support it in other channels like Patreon and others. And hope to see you soon at the Beyond podcast. Thank you.